good, family? My people. This is Brandon. Love Sports TV. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, in this case, the Lions Den Basketball Wrestling Community. All right. I've been doing more WWE content than I usually do, but I think it's a fitting time as ever since we're coming upon about 4 months till John Cena's retirement is complete and his farewell tour is over with. What's going on, Chase? I see you, big. I see you, big homie. And en route to that, the question is, since John Cena has gone back to being the fan favorite, beloved guy, and I want to give my honest assessment on John Cena's heel turn, what the legacy was about, where I think that ranks amongst the all-time greats. And see, what you got to look at it is John Cena heel turn is a completely different thing than John Cena's heel run. So we gotta differentiate between what a heel turn is and what a heel run is. And I'm gonna talk about the New Day a little bit too, because I feel like the same thing that happened with John Cena is the same thing that's happening with the New Day. Only I don't see the New Day turning babyface again anytime soon. So here's the deal. John Cena, his heel turn, I think was executed brilliantly. I think Triple H, I almost said Tony Khan. What's the other Khan? Nick Khan, his cousin Nick Khan. Nah, I don't think they're no related. I like to say that. So John Cena and I mean not John Cena, Triple H, Nick Khan. I do believe John Cena had a hand in it, along with Cody Rhodes and a lot of people in TKO Sports, including The Rock for sure, that played a hand in it. And I think the heel turn was executed to perfection. John Cena did some of his best acting to date. And here's why I think that this was a better era to have it than 2012. Do I think 2012 would have been a better run? Yes. As far as in-ring, his in-ring ability, his athleticism, he still would have had the vast majority of his athleticism. John Cena is the same age as me. So I guess I was 34 in 2012, something like that. Yeah, 34, 35 later in the year. So John Cena is the same age as me. So that would have made us about right there. So I think about a 34-year-old John Cena being heel would be more believable than an almost 50-year-old John Cena, 47-year-old John Cena, 48-year-old. It just, the math adds up better to have a John Cena that's yeah, that could be true. You could be right. Yeah, I can see where he probably could have dropped it to Brock Lesnar. Now I don't know why they went with him losing it back to Cody Rhodes. Who knows? And which is going to segue into my point, is the real reason why John Cena's heel turn was, I wouldn't even say an epic failure, but why it kind of fell flat on his face. And believe it or not, my answer is going to blow your mind. Well, not all of y'all, but some of you. John Cena's heel turn failure had nothing to do with himself. And see, like I said, there's a difference between a John Cena heel turn and a John Cena heel run. I think the turn was executed perfectly. Honestly, I think it was better than Hulk Hogan's Bash at the Beach as far as the way it was executed. You know, with The Rock doing the cutthroat, Travis Scott being there, you know, John Cena with the nut kick to Cody Rhodes' nuts, all that stuff, but it's the aftermath. It's the things that subsequently happened after the turn is where I think this heel turn ain't touching Hulk Hogan now. Because with the NWO, in the NWO case, it was the way Hulk Hogan became that character in the NWO, the way they ran with him and Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, like the whole WCW was fearing those guys, like so much so They were playing it so good they made the invasion angle look like they were still working for Vince. Which is crazy. So that whole thing was executed. The aftermath of that, they actually had a plan moving forward. Triple H and creative, they was running around like chickens with their head cut off. And like I said, I don't blame any of this on John Cena. I can blame some of it on The Rock, some of it on Nick Khan, some of it on Triple H. And they all deserve like the same amount of smoke because there was no plan moving forward. The Rock kind of stuck into Triple H. You could tell there's still a little tension, a little bad blood between those two. And it's sad that the wrestling company, what the fans want to see, is compromised because these two guys can't put their egos aside and act like adults. And it ends up, the fan ends up paying for it. We have the bill is on us, and it's sad, but that's what happens when a plan is not executed properly. He said Triple H is a fraud. What do you say? Micah, I don't see how Triple H fraud believes in Cody this much. He said Cody is solid, but he's not world title material. Yeah. I can see how you make both arguments for that. Cody probably should have did a little heel run with Paul Heyman. Like, now that Roman Reigns is back a babyface, he's beloved because of his run with Paul Heyman. I agree, all of that. Micah, if Cena were to drop the title, he should drop it to Randy Orton or Roman. Yeah, I can see. I mean, y'all got valid points on here. But I think it was just the reason why the thing fell flat on his face is because of the way it was executed. Like, there was no plan. The Rock kind of snatched Triple H. He kind of cut his fingers off despite his hand. And, Triple H didn't really have nowhere to go with it because, you got your main guy, The Rock, who's a big part of the storyline, decides he don't want to be a part of it no more. So, like, what is John Cena going to do? Who is he going to align himself? What makes an effective heel turn is when the heel aligns with somebody. Like, they were straight-laced, like Roman Reigns. In the past, he never would even fool with Paul Heyman. But then, like, now all of a sudden, now he's getting his information from the wise man, getting his wise counsel from Paul Heyman. And, I remember Jey Uso saying, man, what you doing messing with that dude, man? And Roman Reigns said, no, it's cool. I got it all under control. And then Roman Reigns started to change because Paul Heyman started bringing out the worst in Roman Reigns. And you started seeing him act worse and worse and worse and worse. Ocho Cinco. I feel you. But Brock shows up even less. What's Ocho Cinco? But Chad Ocho Cinco, what's he been talking about? Chad Johnson's gonna sit somewhere. He don't be talking about no rest. You talking about this Ocho Cinco? Okay, 95. Okay, I thought you talking about Chad Johnson. But yeah, so John Cena, his heel turn didn't work because of the execution, the way the whole thing was booked. Who he's supposed to wrestle, he should align himself with. To get over as a heel, to like really get over as a heel that people take seriously, somebody who's been a baby face, and all of a sudden you change him. Like, that's why Barry Windham joined the Four Horsemen worked so well, because he was a rival with the Horsemen. Then all of a sudden J.J. Dillon and slips him the little gloves, and now he's putting people in a mandible claw and all this kind of stuff, and doing all the dirty tactics and stuff that he's doing now. They tricked him into believing that Lex Luger didn't care about him. Hit Lex Luger upside the head, busted his head open, slid him under the ring. Barry Windham kept reaching over to make the tag. By the time Lex Luger came to, Barry Windham picked him up, slammed him, clotheslined him, and officially became a member of the Horsemen. See, that's what works, the kind of things. John Cena aligned himself with Travis Scott and The Rock. Initially, that was supposed to be the case. But, like, they didn't have a backup plan. You mean tell me they have a backup plan? The New Day worked so well because they kicked out Big E. They had so much heat back. I mean, it was like, I don't know if I ever seen a heel group get as much momentum than that, other than Dom Mysterio. They were so bad that like the New Day could go against the New Day against the Judgment Day, and because the even though Judgment Day are heels, they would get cheered because the New Day is so dirty. You know what I'm saying? And like that's the kind of momentum that you need when you're trying to pull off an effective heel turn. You gotta have somebody to like push you that's like right there with you. Where people are like, oh my God, this guy is really a scumbag. But you know what I'm saying? Because the backdrop has to change. And it looked like at Night of Champions or whatever elimination tournament, like that was gonna be the case. You got John Cena, you got him with Travis Scott and The Rock and whoever else you want to get. Triple H to come back and reform the Authority and all that stuff just to make his heel turn believable. You know, or the final boss could be the one in charge of everything, which is what I thought. That's why he kept trying to tell Cody to give him his soul, because he was trying to do the same thing with Cody Rhodes. But it just for some reason, The Rock got mad about how things were being handled, and he threw Triple H under the bus, and it fell flat. And WWE never recovered from that. Like, you have to have a plan. So those are my thoughts on why I believe John Cena's heel turn failed. I mean, his heel won. His heel turn still is brilliant. It'll go down in the history books. But it's just the subsequent things that happen after that. You got to be real careful when you try to execute a heel turn properly. Because a heel turn is just what sets you up. Because the ultimate goal is to get you to be a heel. That's what the whole thing of heel turn is. But, you know, once John Cena became a heel, they didn't have a plan for him. All right, y'all. Brandon Love Sports TV. This your boy. Shout out to the LDBC, the Lions Den community. I'm out. Peace.